In this episode, we take a road trip. Come join us.
Welcome to Wading into Retirement. I'm Laura and
I am Mike. If you haven't noticed, we've got a different setup for our recording today. It is a Saturday morning. We're going through our chores and we just decided that while we're driving, we would record an episode and give you an update on where things are.
now that we've finally got the camera and all of the theatrics with Amazon, who came through, by the way, have been put behind us.
This is also clearly Mike's test drive with the new GoPro to prove we can do this in a car, because we could have just as easily sat at the dining room table for this episode, but what fun would that be? So we'll see how this goes with sound quality, video quality, and us going on a drive. So here we are. So what's been going on, Laura?
Not a whole heck of a lot. The leaves are changing, the weather's cooling down, and I think we're starting to feel a little bit antsy as winter approaches, and our dreams of going to Mexico are slowly inching towards fruition, and hopefully this will maybe be our last cold winter in Canada.
Yes, it could be. I find the same thing now that the mornings are getting quite chilly and the leaves are changing color. Although they're pretty, I know what this really means. And what it really means is that we're going to get snow at some point. And I don't like snow. So yes, it makes me think about going south a little bit more than usual. But work has also been very busy for us.
Yes.
So I'd say our anxiety level and stress level between the two of us is through the roof right now.
I would say it probably is, because on top of that, we're trying to get ready for winter. So in Canada, that means that I have to clean up my beds. We've got to put the paddle boards away and
Flower bed, she means.
Oh yes, flower beds. And we've got to put the paddle boards away, get the boathouse all set and ready, put away a lot of our outdoor stuff, and then we've also started cleaning up and decluttering in lots of piles upstairs as well. So it just feels like every area of our life is just kind of a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, we did get some work schedules this past week. We're both working on a pretty major project that's going to require us to work overnight and a whole bunch of other non-standard shifts.
Weekends?
Yeah, for the month of December. We hope it will be over by the end of December. So trying to get ahead of a lot of that stuff, because we know December is probably going to be a write-off for us. So.
And of course we have Christmas to deal with in the middle of all of that too, so. Yeah.
So I did have some communications from our landlords in Mexico in the past couple weeks. So yeah, we were discussing how we're going to hand keys off and do kind of a handover check of the property. You know, take pictures of things that may already be broken and make sure we don't get that hung on us at the end of the lease. So that's happening early in November.
Yes, and you're going down by yourself, so it's going to be a solo flight for Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of that, so we're trying to take a whole bunch of suitcases down. And
what to pack?
Because we just have a lot of stuff to take, honestly, and we will obviously leave some things behind. But so I'm flying American Airlines in November. And the baggage policy there, you know, it's something like $40 US per bag for the first 2 bags. I'm not exact on that number, but ballpark. But the third bag, if you so choose to bring a third bag, is $200, which is outrageous because I was going to take 3 bags. Just, each time we go down, fill up as much as we can. So now I'm on the fence on that. Do I actually take a third bag filled with things that may not even value up to $200 and pay the $200 to get it there? And I think that's why when you listen to other people, they say, hey, just take your clothes and Laura's 57 pairs of shoes and buy everything else when you're down there, because maybe in the end you're going to break even on that kind of strategy and not have to take all the suitcases and pack and worry about this, that, and the other thing for travel.
We were given a couple of hints, though, from other people who have made it to Mexico and are living there on things to take. So I am trying to kind of go by that list based on what other people have recommended. Again, to your point, Michael, a lot of the stuff we can get while we're down there. I think for us, it's always been, we haven't had a vehicle when we've gone, so we don't know what the Costco looks like. We know what is available in San Miguel in the area, and quite frankly, I do like our linens up here. That's one of the big things for me, and some of the snacky stuff. So I'm kind of focusing my energies on just taking stuff like that. It's not 57 pairs of shoes. It's probably closer to 100, but I'm scaling that back, actually. And then the other piece, when you go down in November, we managed to get suitcases so that one fits into the other, so you're only paying for one on the way back. So that's good.
Yeah, so it's only expensive to travel in the direction down. When we come back north, the suitcases are all empty, and we may get away with only checking 2 of the 5 or 6 that we take. So that's a good strategy, but again, I'm still toying with the idea that maybe I have to drive down there with a car full of stuff pre our final trip. Just because there are certain things that if we do choose to take them, there's no way we're flying them anyways.
That's true.
So that may happen, but the planning for that trip is a little bit in the distance, and we'll see where we're at when that time comes.
And then we also have a quick trip planned in early December because we have to renew our citizenship.
Yeah.
So we're both going for that, and that's going to be a very quick trip because things are really ramping up on the project that we're both on through work. So that's like a very expensive stop and run trip. And again, we'll be taking 4 suitcases down and flying back with just the 2, I think.
Yeah. I kind of like this camera thing in the car. Do you know why?
Why?
For the first time ever, I've driven for 10 minutes, and you haven't told me how to drive yet.
Hey, the road trip's not over. The road trip's not over.
This is like a nanny cam where she has to be on her best behavior, and therefore I'm just getting to drive the way a normal person drives without, all the instructions.
Well, and I was going to say, we name our cars. We're in a Subaru, so it's the safest car on the road. And I call this one Danica because if Michael isn't driving the way I think he should, Danica will step in and make terrible noises and even slam on our brakes for us. So on the flip side of it, there's really 2 women that are telling you how to drive on a regular basis.
And when there's 2 female dogs in the back, there's 4 females against 1 male.
Do you feel like you're a little, outnumbered?
I am outnumbered. I'm definitely outnumbered.
Oh, some of the other things that I know I'm trying to get in line before the coming year is doing things like getting my new glasses, getting my eye appointments done, all of our dental appointments done. I have some dental work that needs to be done, that's dental surgery. So I just think I would feel more comfortable having it done up here by an endodontist. So I'm trying to get those things also in line. Same with getting our prescriptions kind of banked up so that it's all okay. A little bit odd things like I have allergies, and I'm on 2 prescription medications for allergies. I don't even know if I'm going to need those when we're down there. So that's going to be rather an interesting thing and maybe a thought for another episode. Same with the dogs. Our little Matilda, or Tilly as we call her, has also been really suffering from allergies this year, and the vet has already told us that he would expect that will change once we go down there. We're also looking at switching over their food into something that we can get at like Costco, knowing that it may be harder to find their premium dog food because one of them does have allergies. So making sure that we are switching them over to something that we can migrate and just keep consistent with after we go, and including, you know, a little bit more human food like sweet potatoes, blueberries, and that kind of stuff, which I know that we can get down there as well. So it sounds like little stupid things, or maybe little things that don't seem all that relevant, but I think for us we wanted to have as smooth a transition as possible. And of course we're also keeping an eye on the dog thing going through the United States. Both the dogs are chipped, so that shouldn't be a problem. But I think one of them requires a rabies shot that we'll have to do a little bit early if we do plan on going, you know, and taking them with us on a longer stay. So lots of things.
If the viewers haven't figured this out yet, we're Canadian.
Well, we did mention the leaves starting.
And we are going to drive to Mexico on the final trip to take the dogs. So what Laura's referring to is the fact that the U.S. changed their animal importation process and require more documentation and microchipping. And so I think that changed back in August, maybe early September.
Yeah.
So by the time we end up driving, which will be spring, I'm sure that will all be ironed out and it'll be clear. But there was a lot of confusion for a lot of people on how to get their dogs into the U.S., their pets specifically, not just dogs. So yeah, and you make a good point about all the medical stuff. Our friends Jody and Jeremy, shout out to Jody and Jeremy.
Yes.
They moved to Cozumel, so we spent some time with them 2 or 3 times now, and they had so many good tips for us. And that's really how you learn, is just word of mouth and experience that other people have had.
Yes.
So they had talked about, you know, the months leading up to their move, they did all of their medical appointments. So, you know, prescriptions, glasses, all sorts of things like that. So we're going down that road as well. So those are good tips. And also we had a suitcase full of things that we brought them when we went down.
Oh, that's right, we did.
And to us, they seemed like, you know,
random.
Well, why do they want these things? But clearly they were things that you couldn't get or couldn't get easily in Mexico. So that gave us a bit of a hint as to some things that when people come to visit us, we will be asking people to bring things down as well. So yeah, you may have to smuggle a dog or 2 in your suitcase.
Or dog treats, at least.
Yeah. When the dog sniffing or drug sniffing dogs at the airport go nuts over your suitcase, everybody will think you're a drug dealer, and really you're just bringing milk bones down to us.
Or freeze-dried liver.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks. We thought we would, as I said earlier, try and give everybody a little update while we drive to do our Saturday morning chores. So if you like our content, please click on the subscribe button below, and we'd really appreciate that. We get a lot of email correspondence, actually, which is interesting. So our email address for the channel is waitingintoretirement@gmail.com. And yeah, we hope to see you again next week.
Sounds like a plan.
Bye.
Bye for now.